production of SportsLink Digital Radio. You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
From Worthen Arena in Muncie, Indiana, it's Friday Night Volleyball as the best in the MAC, the Ball State Cardinals, host the Ohio Bobcats for some Friday volleyball MACtion. My name is Maxwell Gillie. I'm thrilled to be joined by Brayden, Carroll, and Brayden, this is a Ball State team undefeated in MAC play. What have you seen so far from the Cards this year?
They've just been as connected as they possibly can be. The most impressive thing about this Ball State team is the consistency every single match. You know, when they faced Toledo back on the 10th and the 11th of this month, a lot of people thought that was going to be the challenge of the season. And that first match was, but the second match, Ball State flat out dominated. Defensively, they've stepped up huge. Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips will tell you all day, players like Gwen Carroll, have just been brilliant this season, helping this defense line up, stay connected in front of the net. And then that great defense has opened up the doors for their attacking side. It's just been all-around great play from Ball State in conference play.
Meanwhile, for the Ohio Bobcats, they are 7-14 this year, 5-4 in the MAC. You can really make an argument that it's been a tale of two seasons for the Bobcats. They had an 11-game losing streak. Now they've won 5 straight. It's
been a really good start. You know, their first 5-match win streak since the end of the 2023 regular season. The only concern that I have with this Ohio team is that they just haven't played anybody at Ball State's strength this season and gotten themselves a victory. These two teams have a common opponent in Cincinnati. Both squads lost to the Bearcats. The thing is, Ohio's victories, their best win by RPI's rankings is against 187th Miami, Ohio. You contrast that with a Ball State team that has beaten 4 top 100 teams. So all of a sudden, Ohio, they're riding this high that they've taken into conference play just to face a brick wall of a team like Ball State. This is the test of the season for the Bobcats.
Going to be a fun one for sure. I want to focus real quick on the fact that these two had a really difficult non-conference schedule to prepare themselves for MACtion. How important was it for them to schedule some of those bigger name teams?
Well, it's huge. For Ohio, playing a team like Cincinnati in your state, that's a big matchup. And then for Ball State, you know, they face so many good teams. They have quality losses. I know coaches hate the word quality losses, but I personally like it. Number 20, Minnesota. Number 11, Purdue. Cincinnati, Cal Poly, UConn, Eastern Kentucky. These are all losses to top 100 teams in women's volleyball, most of them top 50. So this is a Cards team that has been tested early on in the season. That's why they've looked so good in conference play, because they're facing teams that don't play as aggressive, as tough, as connected as the squads that they faced out of conference. So the Cards feel more prepared than anyone else in the Mid-American Conference to face the squads ahead of them in league play. For Ohio, that out-of-conference play is also critical. The only difference is, you know, they lost their first 4 matchups in conference play. Now they're starting to get things going. Do you continue that? Do you continue what you have learned into the rest of the conference slate? That's the question for Ohio.
Take a look at these two head coaches, two very different journeys. For Ball State is head coach Kelly Miller-Phillips. She is in her 10th season at the helm of the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Ohio, it is the interim head coach in Kenzie Brinkman. So you got an experienced Ball State team versus an Ohio team that they have a coach that's been a part of their squad for a while, but that lack of head coaching experience definitely probably was a factor early on in the season.
Yeah, Kelly Miller-Phillips, what else can you say other than the golden standard of coaching in the Mid-American Conference? And then for Ohio with Coach Brinkman, her first year, she was an assistant coach here for 3 seasons before taking over the head coaching job in May. Her title is technically interim, but you think about it, she took over the job 5 months before the start of the season. She's effectively the head coach of this team without that interim label. Previously, she helped lead the Army Cadets as an assistant coach to a Patriot League title, an NCAA tournament berth. So she's a proven coach in her own kind. The only difference is Kelly Miller-Phillips has all this experience at the head coaching level. But for Coach Brinkman, this is the first year where she really gets to test herself navigating the ship of a whole squad.
She's definitely been impressive in year number 1. Folks, for the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos and SportsLink program information, you can find it at ballstatesportslink.com. Let's take a look at the rosters for these two squads. Let's start first with the visitors from Athens, the Ohio Bobcats. Who are some players to watch out for?
Immediately, I looked at Bailey Blair as the leading attacker for this Ohio team. 233 kills this season, good for 2.9 kills per set. She's coming off a match against Eastern Michigan where she had 11 kills. She had a match earlier this season with 23 against Furman. It was also a double-double with 10 digs. She's going to be great on the attack. White has been great. Kendall White from Gahanna, Ohio, the senior. She has herself a leading stat in assists for this team, 538 this year. She had 23 against Eastern Michigan. Those two are going to be key to the connections offensively for Ohio.
Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Ball State Cardinals.
Well, for Ball State, Carson Tyler is just a dog this season. Absolutely phenomenal play. First in the MAC for kills per set, 4.33. She has double-digit kills in every single match this season except for the one against Bowling Green, the last one of that series. She'll be great as she always has been. Lindsey Green has been a fantastic setter this season. She sits at 8th in the MAC for assists per set. The key for this team is also just staying connected. When you face off against a squad that's riding the momentum of a season, you can't let that get to your head. Both of these teams are going to come out aggressive and confident, have to stay level-headed, have to get the connections going. So for both teams, it's really going to come down to your primary attacker, your primary setter.
It's going to be a fun one for sure. This broadcast is produced by the students of Ball State SportsLink and presented by Victory Honda Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by the showroom at the corner of McGallier and Morrison Roads in Muncie, Indiana, or visit victorymuncie.com. The teams will be getting ready for the anthem. We'll take a timeout from Worthen Arena. It is Ball State, Ohio, getting ready for some Friday night action here on SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. This was the SL Digital pregame show presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Well, together just we're all in it together. And I said it in my press conference, you know, it's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's the administration, it's the trainers, it's the strength staff, it's the alumni coming back, it's the people in the community supporting our program.
Together to me is just moving as one cohesive unit.
I feel like I could just go back to like our conditioning, like our workouts together.
You're building a lifelong brotherhood with this team.
When I hear that word, it fires me up because I feel like it explains, you know, football in a sense.
New episode of Together is out now.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Nick Yeoman from NASCAR's Performance Racing Network and IndyCar Radio, and a proud SportsLink alum from 2010. Go Cards!
From Worthen Arena in Muncie, Indiana, we're getting ready for some Friday night action as the Ball State Cardinals host the Ohio Bobcats. Maxwell Gillie joined by Brayden Carroll. Brayden, let's take a look at the starters first for the visitors from Athens, Ohio, the Ohio Bobcats. Your libero will be number 2, Kendall Hickey. You will see Gentry Brown, Maddie Long, Emily Waddell, Kendall White, Sierra Evans, Darby Ricketts, and Bailey Blair.
You know, for Ohio, this lineup is what they've gone with for basically the entire month of October. Olivia Gardner was a regular starter in September and August too. 106 kills through the first 2 months of the season. She's been out since the 4th against Buffalo. But this lineup as it stands right now has been the winningest lineup of the season for Ohio. This is a confident crew.
Meanwhile, for the Ball State Cardinals, you're going to see Lindsey Green, Noelle Van Ort, Tiffany Snook, Gwen Kroll, Cam Wise, Carson Tyler, with Sophie Ledbetter as the libero.
Just a team that's been basically the same starting lineup all season long. Gwen Kroll, the player to watch tonight defensively. Didn't talk about her as one of the impact players, but if Ohio is going to be connected, if they're going to play their best volleyball tonight, the defense has to step up. Kroll, Van Ort, 2 players on the front lines defensively who can step up, make big blocks.
And I've just been so impressed by, as we mentioned, Gwen Kroll. You know, she comes in from Bowling Green last year. Maybe didn't get nearly all the opportunities she wanted, but she's getting the opportunity this year. She's really stepped up.
Not only offensively, where she has 2 matches with double-digit kills, and it's been the defense too. 16 blocks in the last 3 matches combined for Carroll. She stepped up big time. Earlier this month, I got to talk with Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips after the Western Michigan match, and we just talked about how good Gwen Carroll had been as of late. And really since the start of October, she has been a key to this team. Maybe that missing piece that Ball State was looking for at the front lines of the net to step up. She's done that.
It's Dig Pink night here from Muncie as the Ohio Bobcats wear pink jerseys with white numbers. Meanwhile, the Ball State Cardinals, they are in their white jerseys, red numbers, with a little pink on as well. We are so thrilled that you have joined us here this Friday night for some great action volleyball. The Cardinals will be starting on the left side, Ohio on the right side. We wait to get this thing started. Brayden, any final thoughts before we get ready?
The first set is going to tell us a lot about how Ohio has come into this match. Are they going to start off aggressive? Is this going to be a boxing match where the 2 squads feel each other out? Because Ball State doesn't play that way. I'm expecting Ohio to come out strong, especially with their front line. Need to see the outside and opposite hitters get spikes in early. Can't let too many free balls happen here.
Lindsey Green starts this off. Here we go. It is Ohio on the attack immediately, and there's a big point there. That was Emily Waddell.
Right out of the gates, big attack And that's what we talk about for Ohio, how they need to come out aggressive.
So Ohio draws first blood. Let's see what the Cardinals can do this time by. There's the set from Ohio on the far side. That was Green to Tiffany Snook. It's still alive, though, for the Ohio Bobcats. There's a nice hit there once again from Ohio. And once again, that's Bailey Blair who's able to score.
2 kills in the first 2 points of the match. She's looking strong already, and those are the outside hitters right there that are getting the impact.
We knew she'd have a big impact, and she has definitely shown it. There's Cam Wise, a lot of offensive firepower. There's a net violation that gives the point there to Ball State.
Looked like Sierra Evans was the blocker there who came up and touched the net. Nice for Ball State to just slow down that momentum.
Carson Tyler sets this one off. It goes wide. Point Ohio. It's 3-1 advantage for the Ohio Bobcats here in the first set. And Ohio will get to continue with Kendall Hickey. Set this thing off for the Bobcats. And they're on the right side. There's Hickey. Hits it in Ball State territory. Carson Tyler tries to get some offense. Ohio on the attack. There's a nice hit there from Ohio, but it's going to go out of bounds. Point Ball State.
Gentry Brown, she's just put in a tough situation there. Tiffany Snook at 6'2". Brown has to hit that way above, and there was just no chance of keeping that in.
Sophie Ledbetter hits it into the net. That's a service error. Going to give another point to the Bobcats. They lead 4-2. As we will get to see Caroline Coran, the one to set this off for the Bobcats. So Coran hits it over the net. Ball State. That was Gwen Kroll trying to nicely hit it over the net. We're back on the attack, though. Cardinals on the outside looking for a big-time hit. That one goes wide. Point Ohio.
I think there was just a bit too much time for Noelle Van Oort to think about that spike. Tries to hit it over the block, sends it a bit too strong.
Moran on the hit for Ohio. It's 5-2. Ball State going to try and score again. That was Tiffany Snook. It goes out. Last touch by Ohio. Point Ball State.
Coran kind of laughs that off. The dig opportunity for her was there, but looked like she adjusted the angle of her forearms, and that ball just goes straight into the stands. Still, you have a 2-point lead here.
5-3. Bobcats lead as Reese Axonis joins the party for the Cardinals. She sets this one off. Ohio going to try and get a big hit. There's a block and another big move from Van Oort. She tries to hit over the net. It gets last touched by Ohio. They hit it over. Point for the Bobcats. It was a lot of back and forth there. Ultimately, the joust victory goes to Ohio.
And credit to Waddell for that right there. What she does brilliantly is she sees all of the competition up front. When she gets the ball, just a slow free ball.
Cardinals trying to get the attack now. That's Christian Ashby. First time we've seen her name. It's hit on the near side, and that is Gentry Brown with some precision. Just graceful over the net and scores.
That's where Gentry Brown makes her most impact. Think about it. She's 5'9", standing at the front lines. When she has open space, no blockers in front of her, that's when she can make her move.
Gentry Brown with the serve. It is hit into Noelle Van Oort. She will throw it out, so it'll be another point for the Bobcats. They lead 8-3.
Very strong start by Ohio. And for Ball State, some early errors here. That's a dig that should be 100%.
Gentry Brown on the set. Cardinals looking to get some offense. There's Van Oort, a battle at the net. It goes the way of Ohio. They're still fighting on the near side. But it'll be last touch by Kildow. Points for the Cardinals.
That's a big mistake for Ohio. Waddell plays the decoy up front with the spike. Sneaky ball over to Kildow. It didn't look like she was ready for that. Maybe some miscommunication amongst the Bobcats front line.
Elizabeth Tabling will serve as she just subs in. It goes on the attack now for Ohio. It was a joust, and the point goes to the Bobcats with the battle between Ashby and Brown.
And if you're going to send it to Brown on the opposite side, you can't have Ashby and Kroll be the ones that she's trying to get the ball over. Just a big height difference.
Bobcats on the serve. Cardinals get another error. That makes it 10-4. And it'll be a quick timeout taken by the Ball State Cardinals. We're going to keep this here. Brayden, have you seen Ball State come out this slow to start any of the games so far this year.
I haven't, but I also haven't seen a squad come out so fiery against Ball State. You know, our key to the early goings of this match was be aggressive if you're Ohio, and they have been. Now, sometimes that's gone against their favor. All right, Gentry Brown, look, she's 5'9", and this is a Ball State attacking front that is just full of 6-foot players. So Brown has struggled a little bit, but the rest of the crew, they've had some nice decoy plays, a couple service aces. It's been a very strong start for the Cards. You know, a few errors are going to happen. I don't think that that's the big problem for them early on. The big problem is they're getting outplayed.
So it is Tori Kildau and Bailey Blair leading the way in kills for the Bobcats with 2. Meanwhile, for Ball State, I'd expect to see a lot more offense from Carson Tyler when they come out of this timeout.
Yeah, just 1 total attack so far. It is early in the match, so not a huge concern, but think about it, an 11% attack rate so far. I understand we're only 14 points into the match, but that might be one of the lowest rates of the season if it holds for 1 set.
It's 10-4, Bobcats leading the Ball State Cardinals. After the timeout, we'll get back in the action with the Bobcats set to serve from right to left. And it looks to be Emily Waddell who will serve once we are out of the ESPN timeout. Of course, we are here in Worthen Arena for some Friday night volleyball. A lot of fans out here for Friday night. This is Waddell. She will start this one off for the Bobcats. Multiple Cardinals on the outside. That's Noelle Van Oort. She tries to get a kill. It's a back-and-forth battle right now. There's the set, and Gwen Kroll, precision, she'll score.
Kroll was all over that play. Heads-up play by Maddie Long on Ohio's side. That point could have come much earlier. She had a great free ball to send it back to Ball State, but the connection gave Kroll an open opportunity.
Cardinals are going to have to get some offense starting now. On the far side, that's Carson Tyler. She tries to get the point inside, but just a bit too much power on the kill. It goes outside.
Yeah, that's going to happen if you're Ball State. A few errors won't hurt you. But just look at that score. You're down 6. This is a Cards team that hasn't came back by this high of a score this season.
Some adversity for the Cardinals. They trail 11-5. Bobcats on the attack right now. Carson Tyler tries to get the spike again. It will go wide right. Last touch by the Bobcats. Point Ball State. It's 11-6.
You can always tell when a team is aggressive, when two teams are aggressive, is when these digs are just completely whiffed. It's happened a few times now. That shows you that the front lines of both of these teams is purely focused on the attack. That's something that could change the trajectory of this match. Which defense is going to step up first?
Lindsey Green with the service error. That's the second of this game. Makes it 12-6. Of course, Ohio with the 6-point advantage. They're set to serve. They will hit it on the far outside. Ball State on the attack, but a lack of communication at the net is going to lead to the violation there. Point for Ohio, and that was just a bad play for Ball State.
Cameron Wise, very uncharacteristic blocking error, and now those errors are really starting to pile up.
13-6, Ohio with the set. Cardinals on the near side. Carson Tyler trying to lift over the net. Ohio says not so fast. There's the kill. It goes wide right. That's going to be a point for the Bobcats, however. Looked like it was last touched by Bobcats. The officials with the better point of view, they say no, that was last touched by the Cardinals.
I think Snook and Wise got the deflect on that, and it went out off of them.
We're back in the action with Ohio to serve. There is Carson Tyler. She tried to get a kill. She can't this time by. We're still alive in the middle of the court. Carson Tyler, second time she tries to get it inside the paint. And it will end up going just outside that left corner, and that's going to be controversial. Ultimately, the point goes to the Bobcats, but it looks like we're going to have to review whether that was able to be scored or if it was ending up being touched by Ohio.
You know, that's tough for Kelly Miller-Phillips because Maddie Long goes diving for that ball and basically blocks her angle of seeing in person whether that was in or out. As well as the rest of her coaching staff, I don't think anybody on that Ball State bench had a good angle on that. But look at the score. You're down 15-6. You know, 1 point could make a big difference here early. All right, it's a big lead, but once you start talking about, you know, Ohio's up to 17. Oh, they're up to 19. They're up to 20. These points really start to add up early.
So the point is overturned. That's a point for Carson Tyler, and the Cardinals set to serve.
And that's big for Ball State. All of a sudden, you're down only by 7. Big difference. I know it doesn't seem like it, but once it gets to, you know, Ohio's hitting 20 points in this first set, you start to think you're lucky stars. You're only down a certain amount.
Carson Tyler serves. She is able to hit it just barely outside. Point for the Bobcats. So third service error for the Cardinals, and that's going to stop any momentum. This is Kendall Hickey to serve for the Bobcats. She will hit it on the left side. Cam Wise climbs the ladder. She shoots, she scores. Point Ball State.
That's just about the easiest layup she'll get in this match. Lindsey Green, great set right to her. In her position, that's connection.
Cardinals on the attack. It's 15-8. Bobcats try and get the fight at the net. They're a bit short. Point Ball State. That was all net, and that gives the point to the Cardinals.
Again, Gentry Brown, the outside hitter, 5'9". You can't give her that many opportunities with this heavy front.
Sophie Ledbetter serves it for the Cardinals. There's a fight with Gentry Brown. She has to hit it to a teammate. That teammate ends up being Karan, but it will be last touch by the Cardinals, so the point goes to the Bobcats.
Still down 7. Max, this is one of the most shocking set ones of the season for Ball State. Just getting flat out dominated.
Just shows you the fight in this Bobcat squad. Karan is able to serve. Cardinals, that was Snook who tries to get the kill on the right side. Ohio keeps it alive. It's hit off of Ledbetter over the net. Multiple opportunities on the left side. We're going to see another day as there was the hit there by Waddell. Waddell cannot score. This time Snook will try and hit it over the net. We're still having a battle in what's becoming a very entertaining rally. In the middle of the field, you see Carson Tyler hit it over the net. Can this be the kill from Karan? No, it won't. Cardinals still fighting. Big back and forth at the net. Is this the dagger from Gentry Brown? It will be. Point Bobcats.
That's what Brown can do for you. What I like about Ohio's plan is their opposite hitter gets most of the action, and then you fake out a pass over to the outside, instead send it to Brown. That's the kind of work where you get her acting and get her playing good.
Cardinals trying to get some offense. It's blocked at the net. Point for the Bobcats. And immediately we're going to see another timeout have to be taken by Kelly Miller-Phillips' squad. It's 18-9 here from Worthen Arena. Uncharted territory for Ball State being down this early in the first set.
And it's just surprising the fact that Ohio has outdone Ball State. Here, 18-9, we're on pace for, at least in conference play. I wish I had the season stat in front of me, this being the biggest set loss of the season for Ball State. It's just been all Ohio, and I think defensively is where they've stepped up the most. Don't have any blocks yet, but winning the dig category 11-6 over Ball State, what that tells you is that Ohio's able to create more opportunities here in set 1 than the Cardinals have been able to. And then plenty of errors for the Cards. 4 on the service, 2 on the attack. It's just not going to do you any good when the other team is connected on both sides and you're making mistakes.
That's essentially 6 free points that have just been given to the Bobcats. That would make this a lot closer of a game if they avoided those errors. It's 18-19. Ohio Bobcats lead the Ball State Cardinals here in the first set in the race to 25. So Bobcats 7 points away from the first set victory Meanwhile, Cards take their second timeout, so no timeouts left here in the first set for the Ball State Cardinals. It will be the Bobcats. It's not Wednesday, but they still wear pink as the Bobcats are set to serve. Here's the attack from Curran. Ball State with Snook trying to hit it over the net. We're back in the action. Big joust at the nets. It's last touched by the Cardinals, and it will end up being a point for the Bobcats.
That's just killer by Ohio. Double block up front on Ball State's best player as of late, Noelle Van Oort. And what else can you do? I mean, she's stuck on an island. There's no one else to go to. So Ohio reads that beautifully. There's the defense stepping up.
19-9 advantage for the Bobcats. They are set to serve. Ball hit in the middle of the court. That was Noelle Van Oort trying to get a spike. She will not. It's rejected by the Bobcats. Now a lot of Cardinals on the left corner of the court. Ohio's going to try and score. Ledbetter says we're still keeping it alive. Carson Tyler for the kill. No. Ohio on the attack, lifting over the net. That was Maddie Long. She will not score. Carson Tyler keeps it inside. Point Ball State.
Noelle Van Oort is just getting worked so far by Ohio. She's getting the majority of the spikes sent her way. This time she steps up, takes over the action, but she's also getting the double block just about every time she goes up.
Two-time MAC setter of the week, Reese Axness, set to serve for the Cardinals. Ohio with Gentry Brown, a powerful kill.
You have the height advantage if you're Ball State. This is part of the connection that's just off for the Cardinals. You know you have the advantage when that ball goes to the opposite side, outside, and Brown is the one to take the action. Get in front of the net.
Gentry Brown serves. Cardinals trying to get the attack. That was Noelle Van Oort on the left side. She cannot score. Cardinals still having to fight their way back. Carson Tyler tries to get a spike. It's hit outside, so it'll be another point given to the Bobcats.
That time defensively, they work Brown correctly. You have Reese Axness step up, and then you have Carson Tyler, and then the libero awaiting on the opposite side of Brown for that cross dig.
Cards on the attack. It's hit right into Carson Tyler. She barely gets it over the net, and there's some lack of communication at the net for Ball State as it's just plopped in by Ohio for the score.
You can see the Cards start to shift to the outside. That's when Ohio makes the move. Kendall White, smart play right to the middle where nobody's home.
22-10 advantage for the Bobcats here in set number one. They serve it out to the right side. Cardinals on the attack. Looks to be Carson Tyler. Ohio says not so fast. Now the Bobcats on the attack, and that was Kildow who's able to score.
When Kildow comes in for Brown, that creates a different mindset that Ball State has to shift to. You go from a 5'9" outside hitter to a 6'1" outside hitter.
23-10. It's hit right into the net, so that will be a service error point for the Cardinals.
Well, unfortunately, this set feels way far gone for Ball State, but there's no reason to give up yet. I understand 12 points is a lot, but still an opportunity to at least get some sort of connection going.
Elizabeth Tabling will serve. It's right into the hands of Ohio. Fight at the net, and it's between two Cardinals, and ultimately, that's Emily Waddell with the precision. Finds a window. She scores on the right side. 24-11 set point for the Bobcats. Ball State looks to keep this one alive. That's Gwen Kroll. Yes, she scores.
Right down the middle, and again, this time it's Ohio who's caught in the middle of a shift to the outside where that opening alley is right there for the taking.
This is Gwen Kroll to serve for the Cardinals. It is still set point with a 12-point advantage for the Bobcats. Make that 13. That was Sierra Evans with the spike. She's able to score as the Bobcats win set number one, 25-12. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll get ready for set two action here from More Than Arena.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Well, together, we're all in it together. And I said it in my press conference, it's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's the administration, it's the trainers, it's the strength staff, it's the alumni coming back, it's the people in the community supporting our program.
Together to me is just moving as one cohesive unit.
I feel like I could just go back to like our conditioning, like our workouts together.
You're building a lifelong brotherhood with this team.
When I hear that word, it fires me up because I feel like it explains, football in a sense.
New episode of Together is out now.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
Ball State loses set number 1 to Ohio, 25-12. Max Gillie, Brayden, Carroll here with you from Worthen Arena. Brayden, I don't think anybody expected that's how set number 1 was going to go.
No, not at all, especially statistically. Let's ignore the 25-12 finish for a minute, all right? That's the biggest set loss Ball State's had in conference play at least. Let's put that aside. A 9% attack rate is ludicrous for a Ball State team that has been so aggressive up front. Players like Noel Van Oort, Carson Tyler, who have been brilliant this season. All of a sudden, Ohio puts a double team on Van Oort. Carson Tyler hasn't had that many opportunities. And Ball State's attack is nowhere to be found. You have 5 errors, 8 kills. Ohio has 13 kills, 2 errors. Like, that difference is just insane. It's insane. And for Ball State to start off this slowly, a mindset change is an understatement. A strategy change is an understatement. I mean, at this point, it looks like Ohio's going to be the one to sweep. The difference between set 1 and set 2 for this Ball State team to turn things around has to be drastic. And frankly, in volleyball, I don't know how you make that change so quickly. I mean, how can you, in 2 minutes, say we need to throw that first set out and change everything?
We're going to have to see the experienced coaching from Kelly Miller Phillips. It will be the Bobcats serving from left to right, again in their pink uniforms, as it will be Bryn Yonke to serve for the Bobcats. They win set 1. They would love to win set 2. Yonke immediately on the attack. There's a fight at the net, and Ball State gently hits it by. That was Sierra Evans who tries to score. She draws first blood.
Why start off your first attack with a free ball? Like, Reese Axness has a chance to at least put some power behind that hit. That's a free point for Ohio.
Really wasn't any offense. Bobcats lead 1-0. Yonke to serve. Carson Tyler has to dig. There is Van Oort. She tries to get a kill. It's kept alive by the Ohio Bobcats. There's a lot of power there from Blair. Blair finds it to Maddie Long. Maddie Long scores. Point Bobcats.
Ohio's just pressuring Noel Van Oort. The double block when she goes for the spike, and then the send over to Maddie Long to hit it right into the chest of Van Oort. Strong play by Ohio. They know who they're targeting.
2-0 Bobcats as they serve it over. There's the attack there from Carson Tyler. She draws first blood, keeps it inside that right corner. And she's able to score.
Smart play. You know, when Ohio is out-aggressing you, you're going to have to come up with some high IQ plays. Carson Tyler reading the defense, reading the shifts.
Kroll set to serve. It's 2-1 advantage of the Bobcats. There's a lot of power there from Gentry Brown. And she swings, she scores.
Again, Ohio just working that inside bang. Big spike right to the middle. And Ball State still a lack of connection.
Just enjoyed all the power as Maddie Long serves it up. As there was Cam Wise, she tries to get a spike. It won't work. Noelle Van Oort gets blocked on the left side. Carson Tyler tries to score, but ultimately Bailey Blair, she finds a window, she shoots, she scores. Point Bobcats.
Yeah, Ohio's just killing them. They're just killing them out there, Max. The double block again on Noelle Van Oort, send to the opposite side. Blair, how do you do? Right down the pipe.
I mean, right between Wise and Tyler. Blair makes it 4-1 advantage for the Bobcats. Carson Tyler tries to lift it over the net. Ohio on the attack, but Cam Wise with a monster block.
That's the confidence you need from your blockers. Cam Wise, she reads that all day like a second grade level book. Steps up, double block, but she knows she's going to be the target. Easy step and stop.
Card score, Cam Wise serves it in. Cardinals only trail by 2. That was Gentry Brown. She tries to get a spike, and she will point to the Bobcats. There was a fight at the net, ultimately last touched by the Cardinals.
That's the advantage she wants. Gentry Brown, 5'9", going over the head of Cameron Wise, 5'11". That's a play she can make.
So Bobcats with the lead. There's a double block, forces the Cardinals to have to hit it out. That's Lindsey Green to keep it alive this time by. Ohio through the middle. That's Emily Waddell. It flies wide, right? Last touch by the Cardinals. Point Bobcats.
That's the Cards out of position in the defensive side. That's uncharacteristic of tabling to be so deep, ignoring the corner. Great read by Ohio.
Hickey serves for the Bobcats as Cardinals able to score. That's Lindsey Green. She finds an opening. She scores right down the middle.
Lindsey Green, that's about as close as a catch as you'll find in volleyball. She makes it look like that, and it's such a surprising shift.
Carson Tyler serves it in for the Cardinals. There's Waddell. She will try and spike it in, and she scores right down the middle. And that's just been the sweet spot for the Bobcats.
It has been, especially going to the scorers table side and just laying it down the pipe, right down the alley. Ohio's been doing great work reading this defense.
Rand serves for the Bobcats. It's hit on the right side. Snook tries to score. It's last touch by Coran, so it will be point Ball State.
That's frustrating for Coran. Great setup by Hickey to dig to the side that Ohio wants to hit on. They've been hitting towards the scores table. Why not send it to the near side? Just a miscommunication.
Ledbetter serves. Bobcats with the double block there by the Cardinals. This is Lindsey Green before there's a net violation. So it ends up being a point for the Bobcats. Cardinals looked like they were going to be in scoring opportunity, but just a violation gives the point to the Bobcats.
Looked like Lindsey Green lost her footing, stepped over that line underneath the net. That's a miss right there.
Bobcats on the attack. They lead by 4 points. Carson Tyler tries to spike it over the net on the near side. She cannot. Cardinals with the second attempt. This time it's Snook. Double block at the net. What will Ohio do this time by? There's a nice spike, and that is Maddie Long.
Just murderous from Ohio. Another timeout by Ball State. It's killer. Kildau does a phenomenal job stepping up towards the scorers table side. It's where Ohio's been doing the majority of their damage. And again, you said it earlier, Max, Ohio's been hitting towards the outside, going to those hitters, and spiking towards the middle. And right there, again, that's what Ohio does. Where's the change from Ball State from the first set? We haven't seen it. Down 5. That's a big lead in volleyball already. It's been shocking to see how dominant Ohio has been. They're 64% right now on their attacks in set 2. Killer stuff. Ball State's 18%. It's just a complete utter level of domination.
If this is your first time listening to Ball State this season, you wouldn't realize that they are undefeated in MAC play just based on the way they've been playing. And it's not like they've been playing the teams that have struggled. Ball State has beat the top teams in the MAC.
Right. I mean, this is just, it's a different match than we've seen all season from Ball State. Frankly, it's one of the worst starts I've ever seen a Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips-led squad have. It's just, it's unreal. And, you know, credit to Coach Kenzie Brinkman, because this game plan they've brought in against Ball State has been, it's been brilliant stuff, you know. Put the pressure on Van Ort, put the pressure on Snook, two players who are going to be on the outside, who are going to be the primary spikers, and then just hitting through the middle, staying connected. It's brilliant work by Ohio so far.
9-4 Bobcats lead in the second set. Bobcats won set number 1. They look to continue that domination here with set number 2. It will be the Bobcats on the attack. They serve it to the right side. Ball State with Carson Tyler with a big-time kill.
That's the kind of start out of timeout that you need if you're Ball State. An aggressive shot. None of this free ball stuff to start off out of a break. Right there, that's the power that can shift momentum.
Reese Ackness to serve for the Cardinals. They only trail by 4 here in the second. Fight over the net. It is just a nice little hit there by the Bobcats. And, I mean, Cardinals were just caught standing and watching.
Van Ort with happy feet. She gets down low, ready to jump up high, but she's about a second late to Kendall White's hit.
Bobcats on the attack this time by. There's a big hit by Kildow. She gets the kill.
Yeah, Ohio's just moving quicker than Ball State. Ackness is down low, ready to jump again, just like Van Ort was on that last point. Half a second behind the Bobcats.
Waddell serves for the Bobcats. Cardinals with Carson Tyler. She's able to score in that left corner on the near side, only because it was last touched by Gentry Brown. It really feels like the points from Ball State have mostly been mistakes from Ohio so far in this ball game. As Elizabeth Tabling will serve for the Cardinals. On the outside, the Kildow. Who else but Kildow? Another big spike.
Again, miscommunication defensively by Ball State. You know, you see two players go up for the block, too much space, way too much space between Carroll and Van Ort.
Yankee to serve for the Bobcats. It's 12-6 advantage, Bobcats. Yankee with the Cardinals now having to get on the attack. That was Gwen Kroll in the middle. She tries to get a spike. She won't. Ohio gets past the double block. It's hit to the right side, though, in the hands of Kroll. Kroll able to score right there in the middle.
It's just, I'm still trying to absorb how this match is going. Like, that's a big point for Ball State, but they're down 5.
Gwen Kroll will serve. It's 12-7. Cardinals trying to get a kill. That's Cam Wise. And it's that spot right there, the sweet spot in the middle of the court. That's where Cardinals get back-to-back big kills.
It's twice that Kendall Hickey, the libero for Ohio on the floor right now, has been out of position.
Cards nearly hit the net on the serve, but a lack of communication from Sierra Evans gets an error, so it will be a point for the Cardinals. This is 3 unanswered points. Now it's 12-9, advantage to the Bobcats. Bobcats on the near side. That was the attack there from Blair. Blair not so fast. Carson Tyler hits it on the right side. Carson Tyler tries to get a block. She won't. Instead, Bailey Blair right past Carson Tyler to score on the near side.
I was about to say 3 straight mistakes by Ohio. I was honestly expecting a timeout if Ohio gave up a point there, but that was aggressive play and a great read by Blair to hit that, not down the middle where Ohio usually has been, but to the outside where Ball State's out of position.
Ohio serves with a 4-point advantage here in set number 2. Carson Tyler tries to get a kill. It's hit right into the libero. On the attack, that was Maddie Long. She will not keep it alive. Another attempt there by Sierra Evans in the middle. Cards will not be able to score this time by. It's Ohio with another big spike there, attempted by Long. It gets alive by Ball State. Carson Tyler hits over the net, but it will be outside. So point for the Bobcats.
Maddie Long playing smart as a freshman, hanging down the middle with the libero to the outside. 2 digs in that rally.
Bobcats serve. It's 14-9. Elizabeth Tabling tries to keep it alive for the Cardinals. Carson Tyler tries to spike it in. She will not survive. Past the double block again. That's Bailey Blair.
Talk about another freshman who is playing with some confidence. Bailey Blair, bang, right over the double block. Putting it on Carson Tyler, is one of the best players in the MAC, and Blair standing strong like she just made a slam dunk. Her teammates bang chest. What a play.
And if she's only a freshman, you can only imagine how well she'll play once she gets to her senior season. It's 15-9, Cardinals on the attack. Lack of communication leads the Cardinals to have to hit it over. There's Blair who tries to score again. Now it's multiple opportunities for Ohio. There's the dig to keep it alive from the Cardinals. Cam Wise, she can't score. Instead, it's kept alive by Bobcats. We're going back and forth. Cam Wise tries to precisely hit it over the net again. It's blocked by Carson Tyler. Point Ball State on the near side.
That was such a great effort from Ohio. 2 straight digs that were just phenomenal saves. Unfortunately, Ball State able to clean up, and that's fast shifty movement by Carson Tyler to shift to the outside last second.
Cards on the serve. They trail by 5. Blair tries to get a kill. She goes out wide. Point Ball State.
Bailey Blair, aggressive that time, a little too much mustard on the shot.
Hits it into the B there of the Ball State Terraflex court. Ball State with the serve. Evans tries to hit over the net for the Bobcats. Ball State says not so fast. Here comes Carson Tyler. Can she score? Yes, she can. Point Ball State. Last touch by Maddie Long.
Back-to-back points. This is a great time to call a timeout. I don't know who called that, but either way, if Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips called that, you get some time to rally the troops. If you're Coach Brinkman, hey, Ball State's starting to show some life. Let's clean things up. Did you see who called that, Max?
It ends up being a timeout taken by the Bobcats. So
Great.
Each coach has taken their first timeouts. We are going to keep this here. This is starting to look a little bit more like the Ball State team that we saw beat Bowling Green and beat Toledo.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ohio's clearly not going to stop. So you already gave them all this confidence with the slow start from Ball State. They're hitting much better. They started off that first set at 16%, right now 26%. Much better performance attacking-wise. Ohio, they've started to take their foot off the gas pedal a bit from 65 for that first timeout that Ball State took to 40%. A little bit of a shift, but it's still a 3-point lead by Ohio. A tough lead to climb, especially with the Bobcats 10 away from winning this set. But it's not out of the question. And Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips, you just have to find ways to rally the troops, get everybody to a level head. But you have to be as aggressive as Ohio here. And I think the key for Ball State is how do you work in Noelle Van Oort despite this double block that Ohio keeps pushing on her. Because no matter what, she's one of the best players in the MAC. She's going to get her share. But you have to give her the confidence to say, hey, we're going to have liberos, we're going to have defensive specialists behind you ready. Just go for the spike.
15-12 advantage to the Bobcats here in set number 2. There's a big spike, but a net violation point for the Bobcats. That was going to be a nice spike there from Maddie Long. It'll be 16-12 advantage to the Bobcats. Hickey to serve. She gets it over the net. Ball State trying to get it in the hands of Tiffany Snook, but Maddie Long says, not so fast. She gets the spike and a kill.
Yeah, Long is in position the whole way, and that's just a tough position for the Cards to be in. Snook has to come over flying, but there's really nothing she could do.
It will be served by the Bobcats. It hits the net, so point for the Cardinals. Makes it 17-13 here in the second set. Again, set 1, advantage given to the Bobcats. Carson Tyler to serve. It's in the hands of Maddie Long. There's Blair, who tries to get a kill on the near side. Cards keep it alive this time by. You see the power there from Gwen Kroll. Point Ball State.
That's one of the keys to Gwen Kroll's play is when she goes up for a spike, she's aggressive as a blocker, she's aggressive as a spiker. Those hits go right by the hands of Blair.
17-14, make it 18-14. Service error by the Ball State Cardinals.
And those are the type of service errors that just take the wind out of you. You get a big point, and then, oh man, there's a point for Ohio.
Way too much power gives Bobcats back to volleyball. They're up by 4. Karan hits it wide, so back-to-back service errors makes it to a 3-point game once again. So 18-15 advantage Bobcats. Cards on the serve. It's last touch by Karan. She hits it right towards the scorer's table. We're down to 2 points, and that's going to be credited as an ace for the Cardinals.
I don't really know what happened to Karan right there. She was in position. That ball just deflects awkwardly.
Ball State only trailing by 2. There's a block at the net, kept alive there by Carson Tyler. She tries to score. Way too much power. Hits it out wide right. Point for the Bobcats.
Is that 4 straight errors? Two service errors, 1 receiving error, another error for Ball State.
Rather impressive. Makes it 19-16. The serve here by the Bobcats. They are up by 3 points. Carson Tyler, a lot more power, and she ends up hitting the line judge. That gives the point to the Bobcats.
Making 5 straight errors. Attacking error for the Cardinals, and man, 2016.
You like the power, you don't like the placement. Ends up giving the advantage to the Bobcats once again. This is Tiffany Snook. She's able to get a kill. Paints the left corner. Point Ball State.
That power on the cross spike, that'll do you good. That'll get you a point. Snook's smart. The block is there immediately from Kildow. She sends it right by her face to the middle.
Cardinals serve it up. Ohio on the attack. There's Maddie Long. She shoots, she scores. 21-17. Point for the Bobcats.
This is key for Ohio. You got a 4-point lead and you're 4 away from 25. How do you respond to the errors your team has been making?
21-17 advantage to the Bobcats. Carson Tyler tries to get a kill on the near side. Ohio keeps it alive. Sierra Evans hits it to her left. It goes wide left. Point Ball State.
Well, the way to respond certainly isn't making an error of your own. That's a big mistake by Sierra Evans. Now you get Ball State life. Once you get closer to cracking a comeback, as we get closer to 25, things really start to get intense.
Bobcats 4 away from the set to victory. Kildow tries to get the kill. Cardinals end up winning the jousting battle this time. Kildow, right hand kill. She scores. So she misses the first time, but scores the second time.
Kildow has been a huge impact on the outside for Ohio so far. 7 kills.
She's definitely the reason why Ohio has this lead so far, as Karan serves it up for the Bobcats. It's an ace. Elizabeth Tabling, a step behind, ends up giving the ace there to Karan, makes it 23-18. And Ball State resorts to having to take their second and final timeout here, set number 2.
Yeah, it kind of feels like using this timeout just because you have it. Ohio's 2 away, Ball State down 5. Probability is low of coming back in this set. All credit to Ohio. It's been great stuff from the outside and the opposite side. You have Kildow on the outside with 8 kills, Blair on the opposite with 6. Those two they've been making a huge impact.
For the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos and SportsLink program information, it can be found at ballstatesportslink.com. Max Wheeler, Brayden Carroll here with you from Worthen Arena for some Friday night volleyball. Ohio leads 23-18 here in set number 2 after winning set number 1. It's a different Ball State from set number one, considering that it was only 25-12 in set number one. Is it less errors being committed by Ball State that's helped them keep this close?
I think it's that, as well as a mix of Ohio hasn't gone on a long stretch of consecutive points. In the first set, Ohio had 2 stretches of 4 points in a row. They haven't had that long of a stretch in this second set, but it's been the consistency from Ohio. They haven't had those runs, but they've had the consistency throughout this set to maintain a foothold on this Ball State team. And then also they started off strong and they just haven't really given up that cushion.
23-18, Ohio with the advantage over the Ball State Cardinals, who are undefeated in MAC play. Curran serves this up for Ohio, going from left to right. Elizabeth Tabling hits it wide behind her, gives the ace to the Bobcats, and that is set point here for set number 2.
See the contrast of emotions. Tabling laughing that off. Look at Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips, Max, stone-faced.
Don't want to give an opportunity to the Bobcats if you are the Ball State Cardinals. There's the serve by the Bobcats. Carson Tyler blocked at the net. Carson Tyler attempts number 2 for a kill. It goes wide. Hold on. It's last touched by the Bobcats. And a breath of life for Ball State.
A breath of life still. You're down 5. Can't give up a single point here in set 2. You know, if they lose this set, it's going to be a long 5-minute break.
Cards serve it in. Ohio on the attack. Blair tries to score, and she will. So set number 2 goes the way of the Bobcats, 25-19. Bobcats lead this matchup 2-0. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll react to the first half of action here for some Friday Night Volleyball from Worthen Arena on SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Well, together, we're all in it together. And I said it in my press conference, you know, it's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's the administration, it's the trainers, it's the strength staff, it's the alumni coming back, it's the people in the community supporting our program.
Together to me is just moving as one cohesive unit.
I feel like I could just go back to like our conditioning, like our workouts together.
You're building a lifelong brotherhood with this team.
When I hear that word, it fires me up because I feel like it explains, football in a sense.
New episode of Together is out now.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Connor Onion, play-by-play broadcaster with Fox Sports, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. Chirp, chirp.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena as the Ball State Cardinals trail the Ohio Bobcats 2-0. My name's Max Gillie. He's Brayden Carroll, and Brayden, we anticipated the potential for a sweep, but we anticipated it would be Cardinals with the advantage. But Ohio has been rather impressive in this ball matchup.
Yeah, how could you anticipate maybe the worst start in conference play in years for Ball State? It's been shocking, to say the least, how much Ball State's been dominated through the first 2 sets. Just 25-12 in set 1, 25-19 a little bit closer, but still the attacking rate was below 20% in set number 2 for the Cardinals. I don't know. I'm just kind of in a state of shock right now that we're witnessing this, because this is so uncharacteristic of a Kelly Miller-Phillips-led team.
So you may be confused if you haven't followed Ball State this year as to why there were such high expectations for the Cardinals. Well, it's the fact that they are 13-8 on the year. It's the fact that they are 9-0 in the Mid-American Conference, and it's the fact that they're ranked 45th in the country in the RPI rankings. This is a Ball State team that has looked to be one of the better mid-major programs, and not tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the locker room for those 5 minutes that we just took for break if I was this Ball State team. I mean, for maybe the last 10 minutes, Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips was stone-faced on the sideline. Frustrating start for her team. How do they come out of this? I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like in set 3, but something drastic has to change.
So for those who may be just now joining us, it is Ohio versus Ball State. Bobcats win the first 2 sets. It's going to take a reverse sweep for the Cardinals, get this win here. But what has gone well for Ohio so far?
For Ohio, they've attacked the right players. They put pressure on Noelle Van Oort. They've held her to 4 kills, but most critically 4 errors as well in the attack. And then they've done a great job of working the outside. They have Kildau on the scores table side. She has 8 kills so far without a single error. And then they typically have had Bailey Blair on our side. She has 7 kills, 3 errors, but her attacking rate has been pretty good. And then Kildau, she's 80% right now in her attacking percentage, which is by far her highest rate of the season. It's just been a great performance by Ohio. And if you had to judge teams based on one night, you would say Ohio might be the best team in the conference.
Ohio has won 5 straight games. They are starting to get hot at the right time. It will be the Cardinals on the near side going from left to right. And it will be Ball State starting this thing off with Lindsey Green. Again, Cardinals in the white uniforms, red numbers. The pink out for Ohio, pink uniforms, white numbers. Lindsey Green gets this thing started for the Ball State Cardinals. Blair ends up hitting it right into the net, gives the easy point there to Ball State.
That was just a tough dig, and then a set by Hickey kind of leaves Blair out of position to force that spike. Couldn't get it over.
Lindsey Green serves it for the Cardinals. Blair tries to get a kill through the middle. She will not be successful. Carson Tyler on the left side. She gets the kill. Point for the Ball State Cardinals.
That was a murderous slap by Bailey Blair on the spike. Great effort from the Cardinals. Ledbetter with the dig on that ball. Had to be going 60-70. Definitely a ticket on that one.
Cards lead 2-0. As Blair able to get a kill from the left side. It's a cross-court kill. She scores, makes it 2-1 with the Cardinals leading for the first time in this ball game.
Isn't that crazy to think about? The first lead comes in set 3.
So Bobcats will serve. It leads to a service error, giving the point to Ball State. This is more of what we saw from the Cardinals in set number 1.
It is, but 2 of these points have come off of errors for Ohio.
Well, Van Oort serves it for the Cardinals. She gets a service error, so gives the point to the Bobcats and essentially gives a mulligan to the Bobcats.
Look at the faces on the Ball State team on the floor right now. No one's smiling.
That is not been seen at all in action. What has been seen is Cam Wise getting a kill. She spikes it, and she's able to get the point.
Even there, everybody heads to the circle, huddles up at the middle, high-fiving each other, but nobody's smiling. It's all business right now.
Sophie Ledbetter serves it for the Cardinals. They lead 4-2. Blair tries to score for the Bobcats. She hits it to Gentry Brown. Gentry Brown lifts it over the net. She scores, makes it 4-3. Cards lead by 1.
It's interesting to see Noelle Van Oort playing backline here. Typically the outside hitter. Instead, she's more of a defensive specialist, and on that situation, only one back and out of position.
Bobcats starting off with the rock. There's Gwen Kroll. She scores through the middle with a nice kill.
Gwen Kroll's been such a huge impact this season. She's going to have to be an impact in this match. Steps up big time with the reception right underneath her. Big spike on the middle of the floor. That's the type of point Ball State needs.
Kill number 5 for Gwen Kroll as Reese Axon serves it for the Cardinals. They are up by 2 points, make it 3 points. Point Ball State off the ace.
Nice little service ace from Reese Axness. Now you're starting to see Ball State climb a little bit. 3-point lead now.
Axness serves it for the Cardinals. Bobcats first on the attack. It's blocked. Gwen Kroll. Who else? Point Ball State.
Who else is right? And she steps up big. The one step up front, double block. She sees it's coming straight to her, puts those hands together, clamp down.
Axness serves for the Cardinals. They are up by 4. Gentry Brown tries to scoop it over the net. Carson Tyler rejected. Cardinals have to try another attack. Carson Tyler a second time. She will get it digged away by Ohio. We're still keeping this thing alive. Gwen Kroll through the middle. She gets the spike. She won't score. There's the double block by the Cardinals through the middle. It's going to be Gwen Kroll again. Sophie Ledbetter finds Carson Tyler, and she will hit it outside. It is a point for the Bobcats.
You know, they lose that rally, but the Cardinals are controlling the pace here in set 3. They're forcing Ohio to take soft touches over double blocks instead of the hard spikes we saw in the first 2 sets.
Gentry Brown serves for the Bobcats. They only trail by 3. They're up 2 sets to none as Kildow. Who else? She tries to get a kill, but it actually is an attack error. Gives the point to Ball State. It looked like it was going to be an easy point there for the Bobcats, but an error gives the point to the Cardinals. We have a quick timeout.
Good timeout by Coach Brinkman. That's the type of play by Kildow where she goes up for a punch that she really shouldn't go for. That should just be free-balled over, and effectively you see what you can do on defense. Giving up 3 points to this Cards team. And, you know, this lead that Ball State has, it feels like it's been established by a lack of attention to detail by Ohio.
For the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos and SportsLink program information, you can find it at ballstatesportslink.com. Actually, Brayden Carroll here with you. It is 8-4 advantage to Ball State. If we look at what has changed, what kind of stands out to you as the biggest change from the sets which Ball State lost, sets 1 and 2, to now?
I think that they're controlling the pace better, but the biggest change for me is Ohio. You know, they're starting off with a negative hit percentage right now, negative 11, and you know, few errors here in set 3. That's been the difference. So I don't think it's too late for Ohio to come back here. You know, a 4-point lead isn't too big this early into a set, but you know, this timeout is key for Ohio to come out swinging.
So it is 8-4. Cardinals lead by 4 points here in set number 3, as the Cardinals will be set to serve with Carson Tyler. Has to be one of the favorites for MAC Player of the Year. She has done everything, and throughout the year she's been very consistent. As we wait for TV to return, they're back. And we'll get this thing started with Carson Tyler. She serves. And Ohio immediately on the attack. A weird pass to Kildow, but it works. Kildow will score.
Yeah, come out swinging. Kildow right to the outside. No one's home. Just out of position with Sophie Ledbetter, the libero. Looks like Van Oort was looking to move up front to the net. She was back beforehand. That's a nice play.
There was an awkward hit to Kildow, but the experience leads her to score. Noelle Van Oort on the left side. She tries to get a spike. It's kept alive by the Bobcats, this time by, as we'll see Gwen Kroll through the middle. She's able to score, hammers in, and gets a point.
Both teams going back and forth here. Key for Ball State, can't let Ohio sneak back into this. Back and forth is fine when you got a 4-point lead.
When Carroll serves it for the Cardinals, they are up by 4 points. Ohio with Blair blocked by the Cardinals, but it ends up going last touch by Ball State, giving the point to the Bobcats.
Kildow is doing what we think Van Ort needs to do for Ball State. Despite the double block, still just sending it down the middle of the hands crew and seeing if that ball can squeak by.
Yankee serves for the Bobcats as they only trail by 3 here in set number 3. Cam Wise climbs the ladder. Point for the Cardinals with the spike.
Well, this is where the unfortunacy of starting off with so many errors starts to come back to bite you if you're Ohio, because now you're playing back and forth volleyball in set 3, but that lead still looms. Gotta find a way to get on a run.
Lindsey Green serves for the Cardinals. They're up 10-6 here in set number 3. There's a lack of communication from the Bobcats that leads to the ace.
I don't know what happened there. Brown is in position, nice dig to the opposite side, and it looks like everybody just moved out of place.
Cards up 11-6. Sierra Evans tries to get a spike. Cardinals keep it alive. There's a dig from the Bobcats. Here is Noelle Van Ort. She's on the left side, lifts it over. Bobcats still keep it alive. This time, Cam Wise drifts it outside. Point for the Bobcats.
That's tough for the Cards. 2 free balls by Ohio. You expect to be the one to score when the other team is conceding attacks to you. That's unfortunate for Tyler. She has to get a more accurate shot up.
And you see Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips holding a green card for a review, and they will challenge the point. So we will get this second opportunity for a review. Actually, Brayden Carroll here with you on SL Digital Radio. The unfortunate part about being here in the arena is we cannot see any of the replay angles, so we're just going to purely have to wait and see what the officials come up with.
The old waiting game. Sometimes radio does you dirty.
So it's 11-7 advantage for the Ball State Cardinals here in set number 3. Cardinal fans can be happy that they are up to lead, but the realization that you're going to make is, hey, you're down 2 sets. It's going to take a lot to be able to get a comeback for a reverse sweep.
It's going to take a lot, but this is a strong start. You're up 4. Errors are going to happen to both teams. When they happen, you got to take advantage of them, and Ball State's done a good job. My only concern is with this challenge, you get a long break. It's effectively a timeout for Coach Brinkman to get her squad together. So for Ohio, got to come out with some sort of sense of urgency. There's no reason to think you're up 2-0. We can lose this set. Really, you can't lose a single set to a team like Ball State that's undefeated in conference play, that has shown their ability to win in 5 sets. They have 2 5-set victories in the last 4 matches alone. So this third set is critical. Whether or not this point stays your way, the lead is overcomable. You got to know that. You got to have your foot on the gas pedal.
So one thing to remember about this Ohio Bobcats team, they're only 7-14 with 5 wins in the MAC with a record of 5-4. For Kenzie Brinkman, a win would, I think, be career-defining as the interim head coach, and I think that they would probably have to take that interim title at the end of the season away, because if they win today, it's not only because of today, it's the fact that, hey, they had an 11-game losing streak, and now they've played really well in their last 6 games and completely turned the season around.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of stretch is something that shows you a coach has the team bought in, and that's the key to getting that interim title off of your nameplate. So she's looked really good as a coach so far in this second half of the season. I think she definitely deserves a head coaching job somewhere. Hopefully it's here in Ohio.
Point will stay with the Bobcats. So it's 11-7. The review does not go in the way of the Ball State Cardinals.
Now come out swinging if you're Ohio. Every set is a championship round.
So it is 4-point advantage for the Cardinals as Bobcats set to serve on the far side. And we're back in the action. It is Ohio on the attack, but there is Noelle Van Oort on the left side. She climbs the ladder. There's the double block between Van Oort and Cam Wise. Point, Ball State.
Cam Wise looking back at the Ohio crew like, I know you felt that. You weren't the ball. Ball took the brunt of my explosion, but I know you felt that in your hearts. What a big-time block by Carson Tyler.
You're going to lose a challenge. You may as well get a sick block from Cam Wise. It's 12-7 advantage for the Bobcats. Make it 13-7. Point Ball State. And Ohio just caught standing, and ball scores for the Cardinals. Olivia Gardner has entered the game. First time we've seen her this month, and she'll score immediately. How about that? Welcome back, Olivia Gardner.
Yeah, that's big to have Gardner back. You know, her first match since the 4th of October against Buffalo. She had 6 matches with double-digit kills. Great to see her back on the floor.
13-8 advantage for the Cardinals. Cam Wise tries to spike it over the net, and she will. Point for the Cardinals, makes it 14-8.
This set's really starting to leave the grip of Ohio. A 6-point lead with Ball State nearing the race to 15.
Sophie Ledbetter serves for the Cardinals. They're up 6 points. There's the spike there from Gentry Brown. She won't score. Instead, it's Bailey Blair from the right side. She scores.
That's ruthless by Bailey Blair. As she hits the bench, she's got to be feeling herself after that. Van Oort digs up a hit from Blair, and Blair sends it right back to her on the move. Heartless.
Moran serves it for the Bobcats. It will be Tiffany Snook on the far side. She tries to get a spike. She won't. Noelle Van Oort from the back line keeps it alive. So she had to shift. And Carson Tyler on that left corner, keeping it alive for the Cardinals. There's a fight at the net, a spike by the Bobcats, and Emily Waddell scores.
And that's great creativity by Kendall White. The first time she gets the ball to assist to the outside, she fakes, sends it over, that time right to the spike.
14-10 advantage for the Cardinals. Carson Tyler with a massive kill. It's immediately dug up by the Bobcats. We are still alive here. Carson Tyler, attempt number 2 for a kill. Attempt number 2 blocked by the Bobcats. So a back and forth joust at the net. Cardinals, third opportunity for Carson Tyler. Third time's not going to be enough. It goes out. So it was going to immediately go to a review. Looked like it was going to be able to be scored by Carson Tyler. That's why I kind of had to stop in my tracks, because the officials decided it was ending up going the way of the Bobcats. We're going to another review.
And it's a timely review for Ball State. 3 straight points for Ohio. Time for Kelly Miller-Phillips to talk with her squad and say, hey, this is what I'm seeing right now in this stretch.
And you saw the reaction if you were here in Worthen Arena. She was not happy with that call at all. You could tell she was staring daggers into our officials. She's not a coach you want to mess with.
No, this might be a quick review, too. It looked like there was a deflect ever so slightly on that ball off of the double block from Ohio. Couldn't quite see who it was out on. Of course, we're seeing this literally from bird's eye view. I could be completely wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if this has changed to a Ball State point.
So for those of you who've never been to Worthen Arena, we are in the radio broadcast booth right in the corner of Worthen Arena. So makes it an interesting vantage point for sure.
Yeah, I do like having the Jumbotron right in my face, though. I know that's, I know the way I just phrased it sounds wrong, but the ESPN broadcast has shown. Of course, not now during reviews. They don't show reviews in-house, but you get to see the replays that are playing. It's a nice little spot up here.
14-11 advantage for the Cardinals. We'll see if that stands with this review. It's a bit longer than we thought.
It is, and most reviews that have taken place in this match have been this long. Typically what this tells you when a review takes this long is that officials are looking at every single angle, looking for that one that shows what they need to see. So maybe this won't be overturned.
Gotta give a shout out to the Chirp Vision production crew, the students out here doing the broadcast.
Give it up their Fridays. Give it up their Fridays to work women's volleyball today. Make a little cheddar. Great night for the program.
So we're still in the middle of this review. It's 14-11, advantage to the Ball State Cardinals. And if you're just now joining us, set 1 and set 2 went the way of the Bobcats. Set 1 was a 13-point win for the Bobcats. Set 2 a little closer, only 6 points, 25-19.
What is a Bobcat, Max? Have you ever seen a Bobcat in real life? I haven't.
I think I've seen one at the zoo once. The point will stand with the Bobcats. I think it's kind of like a leopard almost. We're going to have all the animal nerds being like, how dare you not know the exact genealogical phrasing. Cardinal Chaos letting the officials know their disdain for the call. Again, it was a review. Looked like Carson Tyler was going to be able to score. It ultimately goes saying it was out by Carson Tyler, giving the point to the Bobcats and eliminating any momentum from Ball State as the Bobcats on a 3-0 scoring run. Bobcats serve it. Carson Tyler tries to kill it. Ultimately, it's Blair who gets the advantage instead. Hits it to Gentry Brown. Brown will score.
That's a big point for Ohio. The long break with the review after getting 3 straight, right back in their groove. How do you do between the double block? That's the type of action you love to see if you're Coach Brinkman.
A 4-0 run makes it 14-12. Advantage to the Cardinals, but it will be a service error. Breaks the 4-0 run to make it 15-12.
That's a close call. Right call by the officials. Almost a service ace and a big missed opportunity for Ohio to try and inch that one inside the floor.
Truly only a yard too far, able to give the point to the Cardinals. No question there. Gentry Brown spikes it in. She'll score.
Brown's looked great so far. That's her 6th kill of the match. She has a service ace as well, sends that right down the middle. That's where Ohio's been targeting these big booms. And a big point there.
Bobcats on the serve. It is Gwen Kroll on the far side. She tries to get a kill. Cardinals won't score. It is hit by the net. So it is hit by the Bobcats into the net. Point for the Ball State Cardinals, makes it 16-13.
Got to have better floor awareness if you're Curran right there. She had a free ball, and she basically line drove that straight into the net.
Carson Tyler searching for the Cardinals. They are only up by 3 points. There's a block at the net by Gwen Kroll. Keeps it for Ball State. Looks like Noelle Van Ort was going to try and score. Too wide. Point Ball State's opponent, the Bobcats.
Van Ort, she's struggled so far. That's her 5th error. She has as many errors as kills in this match.
So Bobcats only trail by 2. They are set to serve. Again, they lead 2-0. Noelle Van Ort from the middle of the field. She tries to spike it in. She won't be able to. Ohio with Kildow. Past the block, point Ball State, and point number 11 for Kildow.
Again, Kildow unafraid of the double block, sending it right between the defenders that time. Axness and Ledbetter in position, but not in aggression mode.
Impressive that she's been able to find a window. Speaking of impressive, Gwen Kroll, she's right in the middle, gets an easy kill, makes it 17-15.
That's tough for Ohio. A chance to break the lead, force a tie. No one's home down the middle.
Gwen Kroll serves. It is last touched by the libero. Makes it an ace. Point for the Cardinals.
Kroll stepping up here in set 3. That's a service ace that gives you a comfortable cushion. 3 points, only 7 away.
Bobcats down to only 1 timeout. Cardinals will serve. It's blocked by Noelle Van Ort. Ohio on the attack. Kildow can't make it past. Long, Kildow. Still alive for Ball State. This time the spike from Carson Tyler. Ohio now tries their own spike. We're still going back and forth. Kildow. Rejected by Gwen Kroll. Noelle Van Ort blocked. She keeps it alive somehow with the dig. And we are still fighting on. Kildow, her 3rd attempt. Carson cannot get past either. There's a double block by the Cardinals. Ohio, 5th time's the try for Kildow. No, she hits the net. Point for Ball State.
What a rally. Block after block by the Cardinals, too. Can't believe there wasn't a net violation. That's just the clean play of the Cards, staying level-headed for a long rally.
19-15, advantage to the Ball State Cardinals. Cam Wise, she gets the kill, paints the left corner, point Ball State. They're up 20-15. They lead by 5. Timeout taken by the Bobcats.
Bit of Worthen getting on their feet. 5 points, biggest lead of the match for the Cards. Outside of the 6-point lead they had earlier in set 3. More of a comfortable cushion, but it's key for Ohio to come out here realizing you can't give up a single set to this Ball State team.
And Ohio has been able to have some success coming out of these breaks. It's again, 2nd timeout being taken by the Ohio Bobcats. It's 20-15 here in set number 3 as the Bobcats lead this match 2-0 here for some Friday night volleyball action. And Max really, Brayden Carroll here with you. It's been a fun one for sure. This broadcast is produced by the students of Ball State Sports Link and presented by Victory Honda Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by the showroom at the corner of McGalliard and Morrison Roads in Muncie or visit victorymuncie.com. That is VICTORY Muncie.com. We appreciate Victory Honda. We appreciate all of you joining us here on SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Cardinals, they can taste it. They're close to closing out set number 3, but still a lot of volleyball to be played.
Still a lot, and Ohio showed that they can come back. All right, at one point, just 10 or so minutes ago, real time, this was a 1-point set after Ball State held a 3-point lead throughout most of it.
Cardinals on a 4-0 scoring run with the serve. Kildow, blocked at the rim, and how about Cam Wise? Back-to-back big plays for the junior from Wapahani.
And that's going to be a review by Coach Brakeman. Carson Tyler, it looked like she may have touched the net. I don't know if she's actually going to go for the review, actually.
She held the card. She ends up placing it back. The point stays with the Cardinals. And they're up by 6. As Blair tries to get a kill, it's hit back to Noelle Van Ort. And there's Kildow. She won't get the kill. It stays alive for the Cardinals. Point Ball State.
Why wouldn't you go for that review? That doesn't make sense to me, Coach Brinkman, to have the card out. I don't know if she heard something from the official that told her otherwise, but man, it looked like Carson Tyler touched the net. And now you're down 7.
Interesting choice for sure. It's 22-15 here in set number 3. Cardinals will serve it. It was going to be blocked at the net by Noelle Van Ort. And ultimately his last touch by Van Ort gives the point to the Bobcats and stops a 6-0 scoring run.
Now Ohio's bringing out the big guns. They're bringing out Yankee and Blair. 2 players who have been great this season. Blair, fantastic killer this year. Leads in that stat category for the Bobcats. This set isn't over.
Yankee ranked 4th in the MAC for aces. She'll get the opposite. A service error gives the point to the Cardinals.
Well, that just about sucks the energy out of you if you're Ohio. You bring in the line switch thinking that's going to change things. Instead, a service error leaves Ball State 2 away.
Lindsey Green serves it for the Cardinals. 2 points away from a set 3 victory. Make it 1, Cam Wise. Big kill.
Big kill, and now it's comfortable. Finally, we get to hear that music.
And Worthen Arena is rocking here for set point. As Noelle Van Oort on the left side. She tries to hit it over. Kildow keeps it alive for the Bobcats. But how about Cam Wise? Back-to-back-to-back big plays for Wapahanis Jr. And the Cardinals win set 3, 25-16. A completely different Ball State team here in set number 3.
Completely different Ball State, completely different Ohio. And they shot below 10% in set number 3. One of the big keys that allowed Ball State to come back was that lack of attack from Ohio and also the great play of Cameron Wise. 7 kills in this match now, hitting at a 60% rate, the highest on the team in this match. She is going to be key in the comeback.
Big performance for sure from Cam Wise. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, set for action from Worthen Arena for Friday Night Action here in SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Ranked number 1 in the nation by the Broadcast Education Association. This is Ball State Sports Link with Sports Link Digital Radio.
Sports Link may be ranked number 1 from the Broadcast Education Association, and heading into today, Ball State ranked first in the MAC standings. Max Bailey, Brayden, Carroll here with you. Cards win set number 3, 25-16. Completely different effort there from the Ball State Cardinals.
Completely different. I think Cam Wise stepped up. Gwen Carroll is a player who has, been fantastic up front. And the net didn't really see that in set 1 and 2. But she clearly had a different mindset in set number 3, willing to step up for double blocks alongside her front line, Carson Tyler, Tiffany Snook. Just a group of players who have completely turned the page. How does that translate to set 4, though? I mean, you got to think about it. This is still an Ohio team that dominated for the first 40 minutes of this match. Ball State wins 1, but it's not like Ohio has suddenly gotten worse.
We will have to see what Kenzie Brinkman told her squad as we get ready for set number 4. For those joining us, it is Ball State versus Ohio. The Bobcats leading 2-1. Winning sets 1-2. Set 3 going in the advantage of the Ball State Cardinals. It will be the Ohio Bobcats now starting on the near side, going left to right. In the pink jerseys, white numbers. Ball State, the white jerseys, red numbers. And we wait to get this thing started. The officials just making sure the rotations are correct. And it will be Ohio starting this thing off. Who else? Rennie Yankee. She has been the serving specialist for the Bobcats so far today. Yankee serves it for the Cardinals, but Carson Tyler will spike it in. Point for the Cardinals.
6 Ks for Tyler in this match. She's starting to turn the page as well out of the halftime break.
It will be the Cardinals to serve. They lead 1-0 here in set number 4. There's a big spike by Maddie Long and Cars. Bobcats trade blows. Big kill, point for the Bobcats.
Looks like Tiffany Snook that came off of her fingertips and went out on the Ball State side. Nice point by Ohio, showing some presence with that spike.
Maddie Long serves for the Bobcats. We are tied 1-1. Cam Wise tries to spike it in the middle. She gets a second opportunity, and she scores. Point for Ball State.
Cameron Wise right where she left off. 9 Ks now in this match. Nearing double digits. She would go for her 6th match with double-digit Ks this year.
Cam Wise, career high, 12 kills. If this goes long, she could see that as a wild rally from Ball State. Ends up going wide, last touch by the Bobcats, and that was just awkward from the Bobcats.
Awkward, just trying to save it along the bench. No one really had a chance.
Blair tries to serve it up and in. It gets last touched by the Bobcats going out wide, so point Ball State.
Blair playing that boundary, seeing the block come, just squeaking inside a little bit. Couldn't sneak it within the line.
Carson Tyler serves it for the Cardinals. Maddie Long has to keep it alive for the Bobcats. Tyler finds it to Cam Wise, and Cam Wise in the middle, she scores.
The energy is completely different from this Ball State team, completely different from Cameron Wise. She's taken over here in the last 2 sets.
And that is her 10th kill of the ball game. There goes Blair. We saw her a lot in the first half of action. She finally is able to draw blood, and she scores. Makes it point for the Bobcats, 5-2, advantage Cardinals. Hickey serves it as the libero for the Bobcats. There's a fight at the net. The joust that goes the way of the Bobcat on the far side.
Gentry Brown takes that block like nothing. That spike comes right to her. She didn't even flinch.
Bobcats serve again. They're on a 2-0 run. A double block, not enough. That's Cam Wise.
Cam Wise is just killing it down the middle as a lead hitter up front. Another clang and bang right down the pipe.
Conversation between Kenzie Brinkman and our officials. She has a card out to maybe get a review, and she will. So she's going to try and review the touch. She thinks it was last touched by the Cardinals, so we will have to see.
I don't know what that could be. Maybe a net violation before Cameron Wise's spike. It didn't look like she touched the net on her hit, but
I think Cam Wise, like you mentioned, did everything right. So obviously there was something seen by head coach Kenzie Brinkman, and this is our 4th review of the day so far. Cardinals lead this one 6-3 here in set number 4. Bobcats lead 2-1. Max Gillie, Brayden Carroll here with you. We're in the middle of a review from Worthen as the energy has sort of dropped here in the 4th simply because it's been a whole lot of back and forth.
It has been, and there's a lot of pressure on this set. Thinking about the reverse sweep, thinking about, it's still kind of close here. It went from 6-1 to 6-3 now. Depending on this review, we might see it go to 5-4. So there's a bit of pressure on Ball State. Not to mention, you have an undefeated conference record that's on the line tonight, and you're down 2-1 total in this match. So, there's a lot riding on this set. There's a lot riding on this moment.
And this season was the 6th time Ball State has won the first 6 MAC competitions. Last time they did it was 2023. That was a good year. They were runner-ups in the Mid-American Conference. Ended up being part of the NIVC tournament, the volleyball equivalent to the NIT tournament. And that was a good year, and they'd like to repeat a good year as they look to get their 10th conference win in a row for the first time all the way back since 1997.
It's crazy to think it's been that long since 10 in a row. But, you know, this is a program of excellence, which is why it feels insane. 11 NCAA tournaments, 8 MAC tournament titles in Ball State history. And they're just right back on pace with what you expect from this program.
Call will stand. It's a point for the Cardinals, much to the dismay of head coach Kinsey Brinkman and her Bobcats squad. So it will be Sophie Ledbetter to serve for the Cardinals. Important for who comes out of the break right. Gentry Brown is able to score off a net violation, so makes it point Bobcats. And it's kind of revenge there if you're a Bobcats fan. You lose the challenge, how about you get another point?
Gwen Carroll there was the guilty party. We said she's been aggressive in the last few sets, maybe a little too aggressive diving in.
The Bobcats serve, and it's a service error. That's Kendall White.
That's the kind of serve that you know it's going to be an error the moment it touches her hand. You know, that hits the lower part of the palm, not exactly where she wanted to make contact. Came close, but that's a big service error.
Definitely a tough serve. Makes it 7-4 advantage for the Cardinals. Cardinals will serve it up, and Gentry Brown tries to gently lift it over the net. Cardinals keep it alive. Big back and forth. There's Olivia Gardner. Second time we've been able to talk about her name. She won't score. Gentry Brown. Will she score? No, says the Ball State Cardinals. Fight at the net. Ends up going out of bounds. Point for the Bobcats as Noelle Van Oort, a step behind, causes it to fall out of bounds.
That point stays alive thanks to Waddell's dig off a Ball State spike. My favorite kind of dig is the post block, oh shoot, it's right underneath me dig. That's what Waddell did.
So Bobcats will serve. Cardinals diving on the floor to keep it alive multiple times. It's just very awkward for Ball State here as there is Kildow. She tries to get a kill. She won't this time by Van Oort. Can she get a kill? It's kept alive. It's last hit by the Bobcats. Point Ball State.
Too many free balls by Ohio, and not only that, but these free balls are turning into errors. Frantic play by Ohio defensively has created points for the Cards.
8-5 advantage to the Cardinals. As the Cardinals will serve, Noelle Van Oort. Step too far, makes it a service error.
That was maybe the most long serve we've seen in this match. That almost went past the lettering on the end of the touch line.
Like the power, just a bit too much power if you were Noelle Van Oort. A lot of power there from Gwen Kroll. She tries to get a kill. Ohio keeps it alive. Now it's Kildow. Kildow finds it in the hands of Gentry Brown. Gentry Brown, Kildow, blocked by the Cardinals. This time it's Carson Tyler. Carson Tyler misses one spike. Can she get another? No. It's rejected by the Bobcats. It's in the hands of Evans. Evans will score.
3 blocks by Ohio keeps that point alive. And that's smart, waiting for the moment to attack. Ohio had to wait a long time, but great opportunity, great kill.
8-7, make it now 9-7. Service error gives the ball back to the Cardinals.
That's 8 service errors for Ohio compared to 4 service aces. The Cards in that category, 7 errors, 6 aces. That's a big difference.
So Cardinals will serve for the 2-point advantage here in set number 4-9-7 as there's a rejection by the Ball State Cardinals. Point Ball State.
11 kills, 6 blocks for Cameron Wise. Nearing a double-double that you don't see very often in women's volleyball. Kills and blocks.
10-7 advantage Ball State. There's the attack there from Olivia Gardner. She scores.
Welcome back, Olivia Gardner. Her first kill in almost a month.
It's good to see her back. You hate when you have to have some of the better players on the team get injured. She had to miss time. She's back, though, and she's going to make a big impact for the rest of the season. Cam Wise, can she score? Yes, she can. She's at the right side, spikes it in, point Ball State.
12 Ks, Max. 12 Ks. Cameron Wise has been huge in this match.
That will tie her career high. Back against James Madison earlier this year, and it will be another point for the Cardinals. Make that one an ace. Point Ball State makes it 12-8.
That's 2 service aces for Lindsey Green.
So the Cardinals will serve once the substitutions from the Bobcats conclude, which they have. Cards up by 4 as Cam Wise looks to get lucky kill number 13. It won't happen this time, though. It's point for the Bobcats. Last touch by the Cardinals. Looked like it was going too wide, ultimately off the hands of the Cardinals.
Lucky break for Ohio. A dig by Sierra Evans. She didn't even mean to. That ball ended up off her chest and somehow perfectly into the grasp of Bailey Blair to set up the spike.
A lot of luck there. Maddie Long on the serve for the Bobcats. Carson Tyler with the kill for the Cardinals. And it's that sweet spot right in the middle where you look and see the power. It looked like she had hit the net, but just barely misses enough for a score. Makes it 13-9 as Carson Tyler serves it for the Cardinals. It's going to be rejected. Who else? Cam Wise. It was rejected by Wise, but ultimately too much power sends it out of bounds. We'll give the point to the Bobcats there.
The double block kind of forces you into a point of aggression where you feel like you got to block and overblock there.
13-10 advances the Cardinals. They are only up by 3. Maddie Long tries to serve it up and in, but she will not be successful that time by. Noelle Van Oort tried to get a kill. It's blocked by the Cardinals. This attempt goes wide from Tiffany Snook.
A few attacking errors now for Ball State here in set 4. Got to cool things down. Holding a similar 3-4 point lead that they did in set 3, starting to inch away from them.
13-11 here in the 4th set. A joust at the net. The point goes in the favor of the Bobcats, as that was Emily Waddell able to get past Cam Wise. I think it was the height advantage that had to help her able to get the score, and you blink and we're now down to a 1-point advantage. The Cardinals 13-12. Cardinals try and get a kill here by Gwen Kroll. It's kept alive by the libero for Ohio. Only for a little bit, though. Bobcats back on the attack with a chance to tie it up. That's Bailey Blair. It will hit the antenna, so it gives a point to the Cardinals.
An error for Ball State that gives Ohio a key point. An error for Ohio that keeps the lead in favor of the Cardinals.
2-point lead, 14-12 here in set number 4. As we see Yankee hits it to Maddie Long. Maddie Long. Just too long. Point for the Cardinals. And just like that, we're going to get our first media timeout here in set number 4. 15-12, the advantage for the Ball State Cardinals here on SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. Let's keep it here, Brayden. All right, set number 4, probably the closest set we've seen so far.
Closest and I think the most back and forth action we've seen. You know, the errors have been aplenty. That's been something to take note of, but what I really like is the attacks from both front lines. You know, you're seeing a lot of blocks, you're seeing a lot of spikes. Not as many free balls as we've seen throughout this match. Both of these teams feel the pressure of set 4 for Ohio to perform, to get the victory, for Ball State to force a 5th set, try to get that reverse sweep. You know, this is such a key set and the type of action you want to see in women's volleyball. Really the perfect scenario to get the best action. You know, a reverse set on the horizon.
It's been a fun one so far. We hope you've been enjoying it here in SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. Reminder, for the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos and SportsLink program information, you can find it at ballstatesportslink.com. Next, Gillie, Brayden, Carroll, as we get ready to continue set number 4. Cardinals have a 15-12 advantage. Reminder, Bobcats won sets 1 and 2. Cardinals won set number 3 by 9 points. Now we're only down to 3 here in set number 4, as it has progressively gotten more competitive as the night has gone on. We're back. We hope you've been enjoying this one. It is 15-12. Cardinals will serve. Bit too much power there from Ohio. They have to keep it in, as the Ball State Cardinals and Carson Tyler, she's going to try a kill on the near side. It's rejected. Carson Tyler double block. Is keeping it alive are the Ball State Cardinals. This time the kill from Noelle Van Ort. It is just enough to be able to be last touched by the Bobcats. Point for the Cardinals.
Ohio did everything right there with the double block. Unfortunately, it's just out of the reach of Hickey in the back line.
I mean, that was only maybe a foot too far, as it's 16-12, advantage of the Cardinals. They had the serve. They will get the point. It was rejected off of Bailey Blair. She gets a block. It goes wide right. Point for the Cardinals.
Yeah, nothing wrong with what Ohio did there. Blair is just slightly out of frame to send that over the net.
Cardinals will serve for the 5-point advantage. Yonke finds Blair. Blair through the middle. Will not be able to keep it alive. It nearly hits the score keeper, and we will give the point there to the Bobcats.
4-point lead for Ball State. You know, for Ohio, now you get a chance to serve. We've seen too many service errors from the Bobcats here in set 4. They have 8 overall. Got to keep this one in.
17-13 advantage for the Ball State Cardinals. Tiffany Snook tries to get a kill. Bobcats keep it alive this time by. That's Gentry Brown who tries to get a kill. She will not have enough power. A lot of power there from Noelle Van Ort. Immediately scooped back up by Hickey. Noelle Van Ort, second time by, rejected by the Bobcats. Will third time be the charm? Yes, it won't. It looked like it was nearly perfect, but a dig's going to keep it alive for Ohio, but not enough time after. A point for Ball State. That was a long rally, and it ends up going the Cardinals' way.
Yeah, that's 3 straight points. It feels like Ball State has won by inches, mere inches. Great effort from Ohio. Cards just enough.
Cards have a 5-point advantage, 18-14. As you saw Emily Waddell spike it through the middle, she breaks the scoring streak, makes it 18-14.
Ohio needed that point, something to get some motivation here. You're down 4, still an opportunity.
And Emily Waddell, the Carmel, Indiana native, tried to serve, and it goes wide. So give the point back to the Cardinals, and that's been the story of really the second half of action, where Ohio's just giving Ball State free points.
Training errors.
And that was an issue early in the season for Ohio, as you see the point there through the middle. Emily Waddell, she gets the kill. But going off of the errors conversation, they had a lot of errors at the beginning of the season in that non-conference losing streak. And you're starting to see those gremlins return. It's 19-15, and there's a service error. So the word of the day has been error, as it's now a 5-point advantage for the Cardinals. So it'll be Gwen Kroll to serve it for the Ball State Cardinals. There's the attempt there from Olivia Gardner. She keeps it inside. She gets the easy point, 2016.
Something about this 4-point lead feels much larger than it is. You know, Ohio's got to find a way to string back-to-back points. It's been a long time since they've had 2 straight.
This is Yonke set to serve. And if you're Ohio, you have to avoid a service error. Yonke, she makes it over the net. Cardinals on the attack. That's Carson Tyler on the near side. Kept alive by the Bobcats. Here's the attack there by Blair. Blair, not enough. Tyler for a second time gets past 2 blockers in the point for the Cardinals.
It's got to be frustrating for Ohio. So many points given up. When you're being aggressive, when you're there for the block, you know, it just deflects awkwardly, ends up out off of your squad, errors. I mean, this is frustrating.
Lindsey Green serves it for the Ball State Cardinals. There's Blair with a rejection from Carson Tyler. Blair, second time by. She's going to hit the antenna, gives the point to the Cardinals.
Again, like, it's an error that doesn't need to happen. Like, we're Ball State students, but I feel this frustration taking over, Max, of like, what's going on for Ohio? Like, it shouldn't be a 6-point lead. They played a great set, but whether it's slight miscalculations, players just out of position, errors that really shouldn't happen, Ball State has a comfortable lead now in set 4.
22-16, the advantage for the Ball State Cardinals. And a timeout has to be taken by Kenzie Brinkman. It'll be her first timeout here with set number 4, so she does have one timeout in the back pocket, considering the Ball State Cardinals 3 points away from the magic number of 25. You may expect to see that second timeout used if the Ohio Bobcats continue to make easy mistakes. And we've been talking about this for a little bit now. It feels like when you watch the film of this Ohio team, when they watch this game back, they're going to point out this went well. You know, it was a good pass. It was a good kill until you hit the antenna, until you just give a little too much power. It's those small mistakes that are giving a Ball State Cardinals team the lead that, honestly, they haven't played as well in set number 4 as they did in set number 3. It's just these small mistakes have given 3 points away.
Yeah, a lot of and thens for this Ohio team. Great point and then service error. Great block and then it deflects the wrong way. Great rally and then we're out of position.
22-16 advantage to the Ball State Cardinals as Sierra Evans tries to draw some new blood in for the Bobcats, but ultimately Cardinals trying to get a kill. It goes wide right and giving the point to the Bobcats in a much-needed return from the timeout. Here's the thing, though. Maddie Long set to serve. Ball State cannot bank on the fact that Ohio may make some mistakes, as Maddie Long will end up getting a service ace there as it goes wide left. Every Cardinal chases after it right in front of the Cardinals bench.
Hallelujah, back-to-back points for Ohio. Been a long time. Maybe they can string some momentum now.
22-18, 4-point advantage for BSU. Tiffany Snook on the right corner. She tries to get a spike. She won't. There's a rejection at the net from Cam Wise. A second rejection from Cam Wise leads to a third opportunity for Blair. She scores. 3-0 run.
This is what Ohio needed. And now you got to take a timeout if you're Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips.
It was looking so easy for the Ball State Cardinals, but a 3-0 run leads to the aforementioned timeout taken by Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips. So it is 22-19. Each team left now with one timeout for the Bobcats. They have a chance to seal the deal if they can get a comeback, which at one point they were down 6 points. Now only down to 3.
You know, think about how aggressive this match has been, Max. These are two teams that are 11th and 12th in blocks per set. You know, 1.8 for Ball State, 1.7 for Ohio. And both of them are averaging just about 2 per set. You know, it's been aggressive play that has gotten the job done. And for Ohio, they're not out of this set yet. You know, 3 straight points. You're only down 3. You got to think of it as, hey, you know, out of this timeout, we just got to do the same thing we just did.
And regardless of what happens, if you are a Ball State fan after this weekend, I don't think you're going to want to see Toledo. As they have shown that they are going to be a good team, and don't be surprised when they make some noise come tournament time for the MAC tournament in just a few weeks. It's 22-19, advantage for the Ball State Cardinals to serve there by the Bobcats. Cardinals having an opportunity. That's Cam Wise. It's off of Evans, and we're still alive here in set number 4, but Cam Wise, career high, 13th kill.
And that free ball was a massive concession there. You know, you give the ball back to a Cards team right down the middle where Carson Tyler's been there all day.
23-19 Cards on the serve, 2 points away from the magic number of 25. They won't get it that easy. There's the spike there from the left corner, makes it 23-20 Bobcats. Only down by 3 with Hickey set to serve the libero. Hickey makes it over the net, but Cam Wise makes it an easy kill through the middle. And it is set point here in set number 4 as Cam Wise hits the bench. Cardinal fans hitting the tradition. Set point. This is 24-20. Cardinals have an opportunity. It's projected at the nets, and it's going to be all a net violation. So it's going to give the point to the Cardinals. It looked like it was going to be a point for the Bobcats. Ultimately, we end up having this net violation, and set number 4 goes in favor of the Ball State Cardinals.
And it looked like an antenna violation gave Ball State that point. So now you go into set 5. If I'm Ohio, first thing I'm doing is changing things up defensively because, 14 kills for Cameron Wise. I want to say 80% of them have just been Carson Tyler with the pass and then Cameron Wise right down the middle where nobody's there. You got to change up positionally where everybody is or else Cameron Wise is going to take over and win this match for Ball State.
So we are getting ready for set number 5, 2 minutes away as we are tied heading into set number 5. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll get you prepared for 5th set action here on SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Well, together, we're all in it together. And I said it in my press conference, it's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's the administration, it's the trainers, it's the strength staff, it's the alumni coming back, it's the people in the community supporting our program.
Together to me is just moving as one cohesive unit.
I feel like I could just go back to our conditioning, our workouts together.
You're building a lifelong brotherhood with this team.
When I hear that word, it fires me up because I feel like it explains, football in a sense.
New episode of Together is out now.
From trivia night at Brothers and Tater Tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Jared Matheny with Summit City Sports and Indiana Tech Athletics, a proud SportsLink alum. Go Cards!
Welcome back to Worthen Arena for some Friday night volleyball action. This is turning into a bit of a classic between the Bobcats and the Cardinals. We're getting ready for set number 5. Max Gillie, Brayden Carroll here with you. All right, Brayden, heading into set 5, what do the Cardinals need to do if they want to get this win?
Can't give anything up. You got to be aggressive. You got to be aggressive because Ohio has been there. We were talking about it during this break. Credit to Ohio. They look like a team that's going to play well in the tournament. They look like a team that's ready to go, ready to be one of the best teams in the conference. They just made mistakes. They've made mistakes during long rallies. They've had service errors after great points. Their blocks have been just a hair wrong, off the forearm in an awkward way. Now it's going out off your side or out of bounds across the net. It's frustrating to watch. It's really frustrating. It feels like Ohio could win this 5th set. They could dominate this 5th set if they just make little changes. That's all they have to do. But for Ball State, because of that, because Ohio is just inches away from dominating, you can't give up a single thing here. No errors. That's got to be the key of the 5th set.
The team that wins set number 5, they're going to have to be nearly perfect if they want to win this one. Max Gillie, Brayden, Carroll here with you on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. Thank you so much for joining us as the Cardinals get the serve to start set number 5. Back and forth action between these two, but it is Bailey Blair punches it out of bounds, so the point for the Cardinals. And it looked like she was going to get an easy point, but just too much power. Goes slightly right, gives the point to the Cardinals. As Cardinals up 1-0 here in the race to 15. As that one goes wide from Maddie Long.
Well, there's 2 attacking errors for you. Man, it's frustrating to watch, Max, in full honesty. In full honesty. We're Ball State students. We have no allegiance to Ohio, but sometimes you just root for the players on the floor to not make mistakes that are going to come back to bite them.
Kenzie Brinkman takes a challenge. She seems confident that it was last touched by the Cardinals. That would make sense, as you saw a lot of power there from Maddie Long, and it awkwardly goes out of bounds. It looked like it was going to be a good spike, but it goes too wide, so it gave the point to the Cardinals, unless this can be turned with this review. So that's what we are waiting to see here from our officials with review number 5 here in set number 5.
I don't know if I'm just in a bad mood, Max, but I've never been this frustrated about an opposing team's play. It's just like there's something that hurts you deep down when you're watching a team that it feels like they could have swept this match. It feels like they could have won an hour ago, and instead we're here in the 5th set and they're down 2-0.
I mean, this is an Ohio team that came here as the underdog. They had won 5 straight, but Ball State was undefeated in action. They had historically struggled here at Worthen, and they won the first 2 sets. And we were starting to think here, oh, this could be a big upset. This would make some noise in the MAC. And then Ball State, coming out of that 5-minute break, came out as the aggressor. They stopped getting mistakes, and ultimately Ohio has been the one making a lot more mistakes and giving free opportunities away off of near-perfect scoring opportunities that just a step too slow causes them to go out of bounds.
I mean, look at the stats, Max. Like Ohio leads basically every meaningful category. They lead in kills, they lead in attacks, they lead in digs, but they lead in errors.
That's been the big conversation with this game. The big conversation gives the points to Ball State. So after the review, ultimately, it goes in the Cards' favor. They are up 2-0 here in set number 5. Max Gillie, Brayden Carroll here with you as Cardinals and Noelle Van Ort will serve. Bobcats with Blair, rejected at the rim, and a big-time play from Gwen Kroll. It has been the Gwen Kroll and Cam Wise show here today.
Gwen Kroll stepping up. That's exactly what she's done all season.
You heard Pink Floyd's The Wall in the background. She was a brick wall right there. Sierra Evans tries to get a kill, but ultimately the Cardinals give the point away. Antenna is hit by the Cardinals. Easy point there for the Bobcats.
Carson Tyler, mid-air, wanted to take that to the outside, seeing the block inch forward towards the middle. Maybe thought a little too much about that.
Maddie Long serves for the Bobcats as they have scored their first point here of set number 5. As there is Gwen Kroll, who is able to score.
Kroll showing the intellect as well, not just aggression with her. Yeah, able to send that down the middle where, again, Ohio's not in position.
Again, fans, the race to 15. Cardinals up 4-1 here in set number 5. Blair will get a kill. She gets precision. She scores.
Blair is the key to this Ohio team playing in rhythm. Her 13th kill of the match, joined alongside Kildow with Bobcats in the double digits. Great play.
There is the start there from Ohio, and another error by the Cardinals at the net violation this time gives the point to the Bobcats as we saw Hickey serve, and immediately it led to a violation. Hickey's second opportunity, trying to tie this one up 4-3, and she will. Getting an ace there, 4-4.
3 straight points. You start to see the energy shift a little bit to Ohio now.
Don't be surprised if you may see a timeout eventually. Not this time. Kendall Hickey, way too much power. Lisa, service error makes it 5-4 advantage to the Cardinals, stopping that big run there from the Bobcats. So it'll be Lindsey Green to serve for the Cardinals. Green finds it now for Blair and the Bobcats. She tries to get a kill. Ball State's defense says not so fast. And in fact, Cam Wise hits it to Carson Tyler, and she'll score.
Carson Tyler against the double block. Blair and Waddell right there, unafraid to send it straight at him.
Cards will serve for the 6-4 advantage. Nearly hit the net there from the Bobcats. Somehow able to keep it alive are the Bobcats. Carson Tyler tries to get a kill. Carson Tyler will score. It's the last touch by Maddie Long. And the point goes the favor of the Cardinals. They lead 7-4.
Back-to-back Ks for Carson Tyler. Brings her up to 11 kills in this one.
3-point advantage for the Ball State Cardinals as Gentry Brown hits it to Blair. Blair across court. Finds it into Ball State territory. Cardinals keeping the set alive. There's the double block between Tyler and Cam Wise. It's not enough through the window. Points for the Bobcats.
Bailey Blair doing everything she can in this match. 13 kills. She's looked fantastic. It's just been the rest of her team that struggled a bit. You know, you look at how they played down the middle. No one's home. Opposite side. Haven't been able to break the double block, but Bailey Blair has been consistent on the opposite end.
Bryn Yankee serves it for the Bobcats. They trail 7-5 here in set number 5 in the race to 15. There is Gardner. Gardner cannot get enough power. It's received by the Cardinals. There's a fight at the net. The joust goes towards the Bobcats. It's Carson Tyler, not enough power, was afraid she would hit the net. Gives the point there to the Bobcats.
Back-to-back points. That's 2 times now that Ohio's gone on runs in the 5th set.
Bryn Yankee has a chance to tie it up. She does the exact opposite and gets a service error, giving the point to the Cardinals, and we will get the side switched here with set number 5. It is 8-6 in the 5th set. Max Gillie, Brayden, Carroll here with you. Getting a quick change. Everyone switching sides. We'll keep it here. The story of this game has been the Bobcats in the second half of action getting some momentum, crawling back, and then having an error.
Tripping and breaking their own nose. You know, that's the best way to describe how things have gone in the last 3 sets for Ohio. Just look at this 5th set. You know, 2 runs with back-to-back points or more, and both of them ended with service errors for Ohio. Like, it sucks your soul out of your body a little bit.
It makes it impossible for any momentum if you're a fan of Ohio, because you're starting to play well, and then you just make one mistake. And then Ball State, if you're going to give the Cardinals an opportunity to have momentum, they're going to take advantage of that every single time.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes against a team like Ball State. That's what's allowed them to take control of this match, is that this is a team that's so good, so good. They struggled in the first 2 sets. But once Ohio started making mistakes and opening the door for Ball State, that's when the Cardinals took advantage of things. That's what's allowed this comeback to happen, is Ball State's ability to not be on their own heels, instead be the one punching.
This has been a fun one. We hope you join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the continuation. Match number 2 between Ball State and the Ohio Bobcats. Right now, we're in set number 5. Cardinals lead 8-6. They're going now from left to right as Carson Tyler serves it for the Cardinals, and it will be an ace. Ball State makes it 9-6 thanks to Carson Tyler's ace.
CT, 2 service aces.
Carson Tyler serves with only the need of 6 points away from a Cardinals' 10th win in Mid-American Conference play. There's a joust at the net between Waddell and Cam Wise. She wins. Point, Ball State. And that is a monster block.
And Waddell did what Ohio has struggled to do, and that's contend with Cameron Wise up front when she goes for those big booms down the pipe. And I don't think Carson Tyler liked that, because when the ball came her way again, nuh-uh. Big block, big lead now. 4 points, 5 away from a big reverse sweep win.
It's 10-6 here in set number 5. The Cardinals leading the Ohio Bobcats 10-6. This broadcast is produced by the students of Ball State Sports Link and presented by Victory Honda Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by the showroom at the corner of McGalliard and Morrison Roads in Muncie, or visit victorymuncie.com. It's a big week in Ball State athletics. You get the continuation of this game. You get the Bronze Stock game at NIU, which can be watched on ESPN Plus and heard locally on WLBC. You got Ball State finishing their home stand for soccer on Sunday. Swimming's out and about. And feels like you've blinked and we're nearly in November. It's going to be basketball season soon as well. It's a great time to be a Ball State fan. We're back in the action with Carson Tyler set to serve. It's 10-6 in the race to 15 here in set number 5. Can the Cardinals get a reverse sweep? They'll get a service ace. So it's 11-6 and another big ace from Carson Tyler. Carson Tyler serves it for the Cardinals. They are up by 5 points, but Olivia Gardner, she spikes it in, and she says, not so fast, Ball State, and she breaks the scoring run.
Not to live in the past, but what happened to Ohio on that service ace? Nobody moved. Nobody moved. That's the kind of mistake that's allowed Ball State to come back.
Guards on the attack now. It's rejected, and that's Olivia Gardner, but it tools out of bounds, and it goes point for the Cardinals. You did everything right, and it just barely gets off your hands and out of bounds if you're an Ohio fan.
Story of the match. Talking about Ohio doing everything right, and then just the and-thens.
That was one of the best blocks we had seen from Gardner here today. It's 12-7, advantage Ball State. Gwen Kroll through the middle. She tries to get a spike. Not enough power this time, but there is enough power for Van Ort, but it is out of bounds.
And I think Kelly Miller-Phillips is going to review that. I was wrong the first time I said this, but I'm almost certain that touched a Bobcat before it went out.
Apologies for getting stopped in the action. It looked like it was going to be enough for a point, but then the officials went a different way than what we expected, and Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips agreed with us as she has decided to get review number 6 here. So definitely a lot of action from our officials here today. And I mean, this late into the game, it is critical to make sure the right calls are made.
Yeah, I mean, you have those reviews, might as well use them. Just like the timeouts. You know, Ohio has 1 left. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to 14. Ohio uses the timeout for Ball State. If the Bobcats inch towards 10, I wouldn't be surprised if Kelly Miller-Phillips used a timeout. You know, everything matters in the 5th set. Everything matters, so you might as well use what you have.
It is 12-8. Ball State leads here in set number 5. A reminder, it started out with the Bobcats getting a 13-point set 1 victory, followed by a set 2 victory of only 6 points. But after that, we had the 5-minute, somewhat halftime, you could call it. And then a switch was turned on by the Cardinals. They stopped making mistakes, and you saw an offensive firepower that's made them 9-0 in action.
A big switch, and what's really impressed me is, you know, this is the longest match of the season, time, duration-wise, here at home in conference play, and everybody has stayed in the match for Ball State.
And it was last touched by the Bobcats. It's 13-7. Cards 2 points away from a 10th straight Mid-American Conference victory. It would be the first time since 1997 that feat has been achieved by the Ball State Cardinals, as Sophie Ledbetter will be the one to serve as our officials making sure that the score is correct. It stays 13-7. Sophie Ledbetter, all eyes on the Cardinals. She serves it. Ohio on the attack. There's the attempted kill from Kildow, and she is able to make it in. She makes it 13-8.
Poise is the key for Ohio. You're down 5 with the Cards 2 away. You can't lose poise. Got to stay strong and connected.
13-8 here in set number 5. Cards 2 points away, as that is Noelle Van Oort on the left side. She tries to get a kill. Ohio keeps it alive. Carson Tyler finds Gwen Kroll. Gwen Kroll, just a bit too much power. Flies wide, makes it point Bobcats, and with a 4-point advantage now for the Cardinals. I was just about to say a timeout would be expected, and a timeout is taken.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, said a few minutes ago, if this thing inched to 10 points for Ohio, about time to call a timeout. Very timely usage of the stoppage by Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips. Just time to rally the troops. All right, you make one defensive stop, and you're 1 point away from winning. That's what you got to think about. Hey, we play one good rally. We don't even have to be the one to get a kill. Just a block or force an error, and we're 1 away.
Meanwhile, for Ohio, you can't focus on being down 4 points. You have to take this a point at a time.
Absolutely. Have to take it a point at a time. And really the key for the Bobcats is not giving the serve back to Ball State. Have to be on the attack. Kill after kill. That's got to be the message, one at a time.
It is 13-9, advantage Ball State here in set number 5. Cardinals are back on the court, as are the Bobcats. And it will be Ohio's Emily Waddell, the Carmel, Indiana native, to serve this one off here in set number 5. Waddell will serve. Cardinals on the attack. First time by. That's Tiffany Snook. And it will be point Ball State, and we are at match point. The Cardinals, they lost set number 1 by 13 points. They're 1 point away from winning here in set number 5. Reese Axness serves it for the Ball State Cardinals. Ohio on the attack. As there's Gwen Kroll, and she scores. And Ball State will survive the Ohio Bobcats. They win 15-9 in set number 5, and that's a Ball State Cardinals victory.
What a win for the Cardinals. You think about this match, tough sledding. A lot of film to watch. But for 2 hours and 27 minutes, Ball State didn't give up.
Very impressive performance from the Cardinals, a resilient performance from Ohio as well. We thank you so much for joining us here on SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. Couple stats to look at real quick. Bailey Blair led the way for the Bobcats with 14 kills, but she did have 10 errors. Meanwhile, for the Ball State Cardinals, it was the Cam Wise and Gwen Kroll show. The two of them combined for 26 kills. You were able to see Gwen Kroll get the win and a career high for Cam Wise in set number 4. Well, for Brayden Carroll, I'm Maxwell Gillie. Thank you so much for joining us here from Worthen Arena. If you enjoyed it, we'll be back out here at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Dylan Budd takes the way with Sam Klug. And then join us again on Sunday. We got soccer. Brayden Carroll, Rowan Albert on the call of that one. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. Cardinals win 3-2 against the Ohio Bobcats. Thank you so much.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.